Right, peeps, this is for the benefit of those that are watching on Twitch and will watch this afterwards. I'm currently having some technical difficulties trying to get the actual stage going on Discord. But no response. Basically, he set me up an event, but I don't seem to have any control over any of it. So I'm at the minute trying to do it, getting the briefing room up. Alright, I'm in there. I'm there. Right, okay, I think he's doing it. Hello, hello. Can people hear me?
I'll just let you have it on from here. If something is not working as intended, then just ping me.
How do I invite people to speak? Can I do that?
Look on the chat menu. Does it say for you to allow a request? Because, for example, Thomas has held his hand up.
Where would that be? I can't see anything. Yeah, I can't see anything, mate. I've just got like unmute music options.
No, it's in the chat. You see in the chat if somebody raised their hand.
Yeah, I've seen it if they raise their hands. I can see that. I just can't. I just can't do anything about it. I don't think. I can click on his name, and that's about it. Oh wait, 1 minute. Found it. Thomas, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Ike, by the way, this is Ike's just messaged me on Twitch. I've turned my microphone up. Just let me know if that's better, mate. If not, just check your volume setting because I can't do fuck all else about it. Sorry, mate. Right. Cheers, Christian. I think I should. There we go. He's gone now anyway. Right. So, I don't know if we're going to get any more people in. If not, then so be it. This will go out on Twitch anyway, which will then go out on YouTube, and people will just be able to watch this at their sort of leisure. Those that are watching on Twitch will also get a webcam version of me, so they'll be able to see me sort of sticking the fingers up at people as we go through it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I guess the benefit of trying to do it like this, anyways, we want to be, and Thomas will hopefully back me up on this. We want to be a bit more transparent with how we do stewarding in ERA. It's an academy. It's a community that is very much based on trying to be educators rather than punishers, and stewarding by default is just one of those. It's just one of those things that is going to be unpopular with everybody, I think. But hopefully, by doing it like this, there's a little bit of an understanding as to why we do things the way we do it. We want to run through the work we do, so you get an insight into it. God, I wish we counted up how many hours we did, mate, because there's many. Some weeks are easier than others. Cough, cough, Zanvort, split 2. Yeah. Or Valencia. The plan tonight, anyway, right. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time, I hope. Please do put in chat what you want to see. Cheers, Peter. Put in chat what you want to see. If you want to come and talk about an incident you've had, put your hand up. I'll get you in. If I've not got the replay already, I can quickly go and download it. I've got the world's fastest internet, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then we can run through it live. So if I share my screen in here, do that, and then actually, what I'll do is I'll do it this way. Give me a sec. If I share my shit, no, I can't do it that way because that will fuck everything up. I'll do it this way. What I'll do, I'll share to the guys that are in Discord now. You should now have a screen share of mine. There's nothing happening at the minute, so don't rush to it. Which is my Assetto Corsa. Those that are watching on Twitch will already have that view up. Ike, I don't know what to do, mate, about turning my volume up. Start OBS virtual camera so people in Discord. They don't want to see my face, mate. They don't want it. Yeah. Anyway, so Thomas, anything you'd like to say before we get cracking? cracking, mate?
No, I'll just act as we usually do during stewarding meetings. Discuss, argue, try to get,
Yeah,
get through other points, views and stuff like that.
awesome. Right, so we'll start then. We'll start with a lap one, I think. So, what's a good lap one for us to look at, Thomas? Do you think? I've got Valencia and I've got Zandvoort saved. I might also have some Nürburgring as well. What do you remember?
Yeah,
what was a good one?
Not too sure. I think all of them had their lap ones
Okay.
of a varying degree. So, yeah, they would all be good, I think.
Cool. I'll tell you what then. We'll look at Valencia lap one from split one. Because it's recent, so I'll remember it.
Yeah.
So what we do is we do lap one reviews for each split for the Thursday and the Sunday races. So that basically means that you guys racing with us you don't need. So I'm just trying to get my camera controls working on bloody Versailles course. You don't need to worry about reporting any lap one incidents because we'll end up reporting them for you. We'll end up looking at them for you.
We do appreciate a report anyways.
Yeah.
It just shows that you are attentive to what happens.
It's never an issue, is what I'm saying, but you don't have to, basically. So we do the old F7 thing. Peter, that's in the audience, will know the F7 trick from his various photography escapades. So we do F7, and then we just really, corner by corner, go through what happened. We don't see your cursor, and I can't do much about that, Peter, because if I share my screen, it'll kill it. It's the mouse wheel basically that. So if you press F7 on your keyboard when you're on a replay, it takes you to like a free camera mode. Then I press the scroll button in, it brings up a bit of a menu on the left hand side, and I just turn off the follow car option because you don't need to follow particular cars for lap ones. All I'm doing now is have I scrolled past lap one?
No.
Ah, there we are. There we go. Yeah, so pretty much straight after the race, what we
now you're past it.
No, I'm here. Look, there we go. No, are we?
Yeah, that's lap two.
Right. Ah, for fuck's sake. Right, okay. I'll just get it playing in the background anyway. Yeah, so I can see us.
We're still in lap one. You want to go back?
Are we actually racing now?
Cars.
Are we racing?
Oh yeah. You can see the cars.
Ah, there we go.
There.
Technical difficulties. So, this really is how we do it. It's quite basic. It's quite simple. There's no mad science to it. We do try and have a look at how the cars set off on the starting grid. So there has been incidents where we've had crashes before the starting line has even happened. So we tend to have a look at that as well. And honestly, you'll notice as a steward, you'll see it all kicking off madly. So going down to lap one, turn one. We have this camera option so we can sort of see everything. We have a static camera that's like angled like this. And immediately we have an incident occurring in the server. So we'll typically play it through. We'll mentally note it, play it through. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Right. So we'll go back and have a quick look at that. How we do it in stewarding, one of us streams like this. Then there's someone always in the background that is writing everything down. So we'll get names up of who's involved. You can't see it on my screen because I've got a wide screen. The guys in Discord can, but on Twitch you can't. But on the left hand side of the screen, there's obviously the HUD view. I have, by the way, upgraded my Twitch, so you should now have me in glorious 1080p. Let me know if it's any better. So in this one, this incident's involving car 47, car 4, which is me, and car 30, which is Fengler. So we'll probably have a couple of quick looks at this. We'll review it, see if there's any blame to be apportioned. and then we typically note everything down and then come back to it. So have a quick look. Yeah, it looks quite a basic one, that. Obviously poor Fangs comes out quite badly out of that one and ends up span round at the back. Then we zoom up, turn 2, and we repeat the process, and we do this for every race. So this is both splits on a Sunday, and both races on a Thursday get the same treatment, and we look at everything. So let's have a look through. Anything happens? No, we're not bothered, by the way, about little side contact. As long as it doesn't result in anyone getting pinged off to oblivion, we don't really care. Like, motorsport by its definition shouldn't really be a massively contact sport, but it's gonna happen. So as long as no one really suffers out of it, we're not always that bothered. Have a look through. No, we're good there as well. I know in a minute something else is going to happen because I was again involved in that. I had a very eventful Valencia race. But yeah, this is typically, sometimes we like this view as well. We like a top down. We like this sort of view. Gives you gives you really good perspective on whether braking points are being hit and all that sort of stuff. So lap 1, literally this is it. We just look at what's happened, note down any contacts. In the background already someone will have been making little notes as to anything that's been going on. And then obviously you guys might be filing in tickets, which might be helpful for us as well. So we might come into this knowing stuff's happened already, which isn't always a bad thing at all. So next one, I know something happens here. There we go. And then dominoes. Love that. So again, that'd just get noted down. We'd probably have a quick look to see who's involved in it, so we can see it was these two that started it off. So it was 1372 started everything off, and then this McLaren gets involved, which is the 888. Then the Ferrari 21, and then the Aston number 4, which is me, and then the I love this car. Look at that livery. I mean, that's just porn. Like, but unfortunately, it's about to look a little bit ugly because I think it gets collected. Yeah, there we go. We've scuffed it up. So we'd make a little bit of a note. Cheers, Ike. Yeah, we'd make a little note of who's involved in it. But for now, that's really all we'd do, and then we'd go and review it later on. Looking at the exit of the corner. Lap 1's, by the way, very boring. Like, it's the most boring part of the stewarding process because it just feels like admin. But it's really necessary. I think if we totted up as a percentage how many out of all the accidents, let's say 100 accidents a season, how many were in lap 1, you know, it's got to be a good 25% at least. So it's an important part of the process. Yeah, looking through. Death corner at Valencia caught a lot of people out this week, this one. It's a bit of side by side here, but it filters through nicely in the end. Yeah, that's nice. You know what? I don't want us to put Nürburgring Nords in for this reason, because we'd spend about an hour a week. Oh, it'd be carnage for us. I'd be asking for overtime from Fengler, mate. We're good, and then we're on to start finish straight to start lap 2. So anything sort of from now on we don't really care about. Lovely, right. So we've got 2 contacts to look at this time. So we've got the lap 1 turn 1. So we'll just skip our way back to have a look at that. My preference is this view. I love a chase cam. What's our other favourite view called, Thomas?
I do love the incock,
the
cockpit camera.
Yeah, I do love an incock as well.
Yes, or we might do a bird's eye view, but connected to a car.
Yeah.
So just a simple F7 and zoom up right off above the car.
I just wanted you to say incock, mate, to be fair. That's all I wanted to hear you say. So this one gives you a nice panoramic view of any cars involved. In this first one, we know there's 3 cars that are involved. You can see me next to Fengler, then there's Fengler, and then there's a Ferrari just ahead which gets involved as well. This is a really good one to give you a basic idea of what's happening. Then we might go inside and see the inputs. Obviously, you've got the hood down here, so we can see whether they're on the brakes, whether they're on the throttle, but you can't tell turning. You can't tell what the steering inputs are unless you're in the cockpit. So yeah, that's...
You can, but it's hard to see. But under your speedometer, you have this white square.
Oh yeah.
That's your steering input.
It's
so
not...
It's difficult to see. It's easier to see the steering wheel.
Yeah, fair enough. And with a good in-cock as well, you get a good driver's eye perspective, because most people will use the cockpit cam. So let's have a look at this first incident then and see what we think about it. And by the way, if you're in the chat, feel free to let me know what you think of the incident and then go from there as well. Peter, that's probably a good shout, you know, for Nords, because I'm not sitting here doing all of that one, mate, because I think I'll have an aneurysm. Let's have a look. Cool. So now we've watched it at full speed. We might watch it at half speed or even slower, just to help you process it and get a good idea as to what happened. No other reason really. So we can see in this one, everyone's on the brakes nice and early. It's Kolb that's on the outside of here in this Ferrari. I'm obviously alongside in the really slow starting Aston Martin, so I'm already losing out. But we're on the brakes in good time, and we're all making the corner. The issue straight away, Fangs turns in. That's problem number one in this incident for me. Thomas, feel free to chime in by the way as well. What I will say, and I think one or two people might be asking this in chat or be asking for it, is I'm a split one driver. I don't have any involvement in the decisions that happen in these. These are all dealt with by this. We have an equal amount of stewards in each split. I typically look at split two. I don't really have a say in what happens, especially if I'm involved. I might have an opinion if I'm not involved. The other guys might ask for help, or they might be a bit busy, or they might be too busy doing stuff. Like if Thomas is out in the woods shooting people, like I know he likes to do from time to time. But typically, if it's an accident I'm involved in, I'll just leave the meeting, or the guys will review it later on, and I'll leave the meeting. So you know, we don't have an involvement in our own crashes. Basically, we'll take the piss out of each other afterwards, but we don't make the decision. So yeah,
all of us, we really do like the opinion of all the stewards, but you know, considering splits and all of that stuff, we might take that opinion to heart and actually, you know, consider that opinion, or we might just throw it out.
Yeah.
Basically, since Chris is split one, he has very little power over what happens in split one, but we do respect and value his opinion, because me as a slower driver, I don't have the knowledge per se as of how hard you guys can race up in split one, but Chris do, and therefore, you know, his opinion in that sense is valuable.
Yeah, and likewise for split two, you know, I know Thomas, you get quite involved in helping the split two guys out, and he knows the drivers quite well.
Yeah.
So it tends to be one sort of little gift Thomas has is able to sort of be quite analytical about the drivers that he spends time with. So there was an incident a few weeks ago, and he was immediately able to find out what was that. And I spoke to the guy afterwards as well, and it was like, yeah, I know, I've already spoke to Thomas. He told me exactly what he'd say. So yeah, it was kind of good like that. So unpicking this incident then. We've already sort of said that Fengler just turns in a little bit early. It's certainly not a malicious move, but that's the cause ultimately, and that's what we look at. You know, we don't really go into this thinking there's malicious intent most of the time. It's usually obvious when that's the case, because he wouldn't even bother braking; he'd just be wiping someone out. But it's just a little jink to the left, really. I've obviously got nowhere really at this point. I'm not expecting the turning. I'm really not. My car's angle is is sort of where it needs to be. Really, I'm just aiming for a later apex. Mr. Fengler is obviously wanting to consolidate his position. He's had a really good start. He turns into me, and because of ACC's wonderful grasp on contact physics, that collision between 2.5-ton vehicles immediately ping-pongs him into another one, and he hits Kolb. The kind of, I'm not going to say the good thing because that sounds wrong, but it's like Peter said in chat a second ago, karma. It's not karma because Fengler did not intend for this to happen, but because he is, inverted commas, the cause of the incident, he's the one that comes off worse. A lot of the time, that'll mitigate the penalty down because he's already suffered. I don't remember what we gave on this one. I haven't even got the sheets up in front of me.
NFA. This was his punishment.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they NFA'd it.
He knows he made a mistake, and he did suffer for it. So we don't feel the need to. No further action. Further action differentiates between a racing incident. As of a racing incident, we will blame either none of the drivers or both of the drivers or all three of the drivers, whatever it is. With an NFA, we can put fault on somebody, but we decide to not do anything more about it because, well, either, it's not really worthy of any penalty or they get their penalty through karma.
Yeah, they've already had it, basically. That's about as bang on a description as you can get. So, racing incident can be roughly translated in English to shit happens, whereas NFA is you did bad, but we're not going to punish you, basically. So you might see that on the stewards reports every now and again because we will always try and factor that in. I can tell you in this, I didn't really get any damage. I think I had like half a second, so it made no difference to my race at all. So that's that one. We had another one a little bit later on, which I want to say was Rozolski. Yeah, it is. So we just skip forward to that one. GT3 Dominoes, ladies and gentlemen, happens on this one. So we'll just play it through in its entirety from 1 speed. Awesome. So if you're in chat, I want you to tell me one really good thing that Rozolski did in that incident. What was the one thing that we would have all said in our stewards meeting that he did absolutely top tier, that we tell everyone to do? Yep, 100%. Hold your brakes. Hold your brakes and wait. Perfect. Nice one. The reason for that is, as you can, this is quite evident. This is a good example of it, to be fair. There's some examples where you think, well, you could just roll back and get out of the way. In this one, holds his brakes and he waits. And here, he's predictable. So, yeah, I know there's a big fat sexy Lexus in front of him, but there's Spitzer and Fengler coming round. There may be other cars. Split 1's quite a small grid. I know you guys in Split 2, there's like 30, 40 cars. So if one of the leaders does this, at least they're predictable. And if you are span round or you're in this situation, I know it absolutely sucks letting everyone go, but it's the start of the race. You've got at least an hour left to reclaim some territory. And you'll not be held at fault if anything happens because of this. You just won't be found at fault. If you leave your call to roll back into the racing line or even off the racing line where people might already be taking avoiding action, and we've seen that, you'll be penalised for that because you're not predictable. You're causing a hazard on track. Okay,
we have had scenarios where people roll off the line because they think it's safe, and it makes sense because you're right on the edge of the track. Let me just roll off the track.
Yeah.
The issue is somebody might have to take evasive action around the outside of the track around you.
100%.
So therefore, holding the brakes, trying to stand still, you can't be more predictable than that, and then the cars can work around you, and try to pay attention to the map whenever you try moving again.
Yeah, 100%. Or your relative. There's a few little things you can use, but And it's happened, hasn't it, mate? Like, I think, is it Watkins Glen, or am I thinking of a different one where a car genuinely tried to reverse out the way, but someone was already dodging them, and he wiped him out.
Yeah.
And you sat there thinking, I know exactly why you're doing that. Like, I completely get it, but you caused another crash. Anyway, so the cause of this one, it's quite an easy one to unpick, really. It's just Skitty, just trying to follow Rizolski in. Cold brakes, cold tyres at this point. Different cars have different braking abilities, especially into a corner like this where, you know, a McLaren that's maybe not as good as trail braking and will need to get its braking done a lot earlier in the turning phase versus an Aston that is really good at its trail braking. So Skitty can actually brake a little bit later into this corner because he can then modulate through it. The problem he's got is there's a McLaren in the way, so he just bumps him. It's just Skitty trying to trail brake in. It's a small bump. It in the grand scheme of things, it's quite a small incident. But Rizolski's loading that side of the car up, so the bit Skitty hits is all unloaded and it just tinks you off into oblivion, unfortunately. So it causes a bit of a pile up. I'll give you my POV for this because I don't see anything. I'm trying to follow Martin here. I've got a massive Lexus up my arse, and I just haven't got time to react. So that's why we issued a small penalty, but a penalty to Skitty on that one. Just a general causing a collision. It wasn't anything huge, was it? Or was
We
it?
gave out penalties based on the actions leading up to it. He got 15 plus 2 for this one. So
Yep.
even though there is a fuck ton of cars involved, it's what we call the concertina effect.
Yeah.
Where every car behind can't really do anything. They just lap one are harsher penalties, yes.
Yeah, typically.
But we didn't really take into account the domino effect of the cars behind when we issued this penalty. We recognized that the McLaren got put in a bad spot, but that's really it. We didn't look at this car got that many seconds of damage and this car got that many seconds of damage, so therefore we need to penalize it harder because of that. Because that opens up, like, it's the butterfly effect. What if they didn't crash? Every car might have had a bigger incident. So this we can't look at what happens afterwards that much. So we mostly look at what happens, the actions leading up to it.
Yeah. It's like the split 2 Zandvoort thing, isn't it? That was. I don't know if you've watched Steve's Joy of Racing video. If you haven't, definitely go watch it. We had what can only be described as a very stressful night trying to unpick all that one. But that's the same as what Thomas was saying. Like you've got to almost break an incident down like that to say who's liable for what, really.
You're correct, Nudge. We can't really penalize the effect of it, but we can absolutely penalize the cause. Of course, there are some situations where you can cut and clear, kind of say, okay, this guy's lost this out of it, and then we can penalize accordingly. But in most incidents like this, we can't penalize according to the time loss of everybody involved. Yeah, bang on.
It's time then. I think it's time to go and look at some actual ticketed incidents. Do you agree, or is there anything else we need to look at? Okay. Is there anyone in chat or on Twitch that would like us to look at an incident they've been involved in? If not, we will just go and pick one at random. Thomas, I don't know if you've got any good shouts for this that you want to, because you do a lot of the admin stuff, so you'll know. If there's anything that might be suitable. If we could use a Thursday as well, if that helps, because that's multi-class, isn't it? So that might be a bit more interesting to pick out. Valencia split 2.
Valencia split 2, yeah.
Okay.
We can do that one.
Do that. I've got the replay, I think. Yourself and Stajikov. Is this, I'm assuming, Sunday?
Yourself and Stajikov. I'll find the ticket number for that one.
Alright.
Yes, you could give that quickly.
I'm looking. I can't see it. I can't see it. Oh. Oh right. To what lap then? There we go. That's a question for you. Looking rack your brains, lad. What lap? I've got it. Oh, near the end. Right, that helps. Okay. I should have it. 56. Jesus. Right. Okay. Let me find you. You are. Where are you? 15. 15 what? 15th. Oh yeah, I found him. For some reason, I thought David was a bronze, but he's not, is he? He got himself upgraded because he's too fast in this damn Porsche. You're too fast, man. You're behind him so far, mate. So I don't know if there's an incident. I'm guessing 53 is quite a long lap. There we go. Yeah, it's got to be this lap, hasn't it? Is it this lap? No, it's because he pits. That's why. I can't find it. It's not there. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Unless he's coming out the pits here. Alright, he's just come out the pits in front of you. And you're catching the boy, but I think that's race over, isn't it? Oh wait, no. Is it this? Is this it? Because I think he just lets you go here. No, that's McDonald. That's Ronald McDonald. That's not Stojikov. That's Ronald McDonald's car. Yeah, I can't find it, David. Unless you can give me a bit of a better idea, mate. I'm gonna struggle to find it. If not, we can just pick a random one. Oh, good. Yeah, have a look. I'll tell you what. We'll pick it while we're in split 2. I'll just load up my split 2 thing, and we'll just pick a random one out. There is another one you're involved in. That was a ticket. Actually, I think this one shows you in a good light, David. I think this one shows you in a good light. So shall we have a look at this since you volunteered yourself? Yeah, that's the one. Where was it? 34, turn 8. So while I'm finding this, ladies and gents, when you're putting your tickets in, as long as you get the lap number and the corner number correct from your point of view, we don't need much else. A lot of people put little bits of detail in there, so just give us a bit of a clue as to what we've got to look out for. So like David might put shunted Rosso into turn 8 or whatever he might put, and that'll bring me up onto another very good point, Thomas, about self-reports. I'll let you can talk about that if you want in a minute. Some people do like to put absolute War and Peace in there. Absolutely fine if you want to do that, but please don't feel like you have to. Just put the basics, we'll unpick the rest. If you really want to put a lot of info down, that's fine. Really don't have a problem with that, but you don't have to.
The more information you put in, we might end up skimming through the text, but it does show us that you have reflected upon it and actually studied it yourself.
Yeah.
So we do like a wall of text more than car number 420 build.
Lap 50, cool. So we're not finished with this one yet, have we?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one he
That's what
waits.
happened.
Yeah. So he does basically let him back go. You and Rafe, yeah. Was it a ticket? Harry?
Yes.
Was it a ticket? Okay. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at this one then. So this one that Ross put in. He's having his usual rapid turn of pace. This guy that's not fast enough to be a gold or whatever he is, but finds himself absolutely hassling everybody out on track like an animal. I don't know whether this McLaren's a lap car. I think it might be. It might, or it could be. Is that Pattendon? But gets a really good run out down into turn 8. Even though the Nissan ahead is an absolute powerhouse. The Porsche just has slightly better brakes and basically just taps the rear of him. Russell re-enters, goes cross country to get back on track, and I think ultimately David waits later on when it's safer to do so. So that's going to bring me back to another point about mitigating factors, of which there are a lot. So we mitigated this penalty down from a higher one because he ended up waiting for him. And slowing down. Had he have not done that, go on. Sorry, man.
Yeah, Roth. Of course, the Datsun was in your way there, but you stayed on the brakes until it started moving. We're not gonna blame you for him taking a very difficult route in order to rejoin. So you continuing with the race at this point is completely fine. And you have been mitigated for waiting. So
yeah, so it got basically mitigated. It just means a sort of a lower penalty applies. So we would normally give a higher penalty for this one, but we'd probably reduce either the behaviour points or the time penalty. So just to explain the penalty system, the time penalty you get applies to that race. So the race that you did. So we'll just at the end of it. Thomas does all this, and I don't know how it all works, but he goes onto the website and inputs it, and it alters the results basically. Just takes 10 seconds off or adds 10 seconds on, or however it works. The license points, so think of that as license penalty points. Yeah, license penalty points will just they'll tot up over time, and in this case, points do win prizes, but those prizes are drive-through, SG30s, quali bands, all that lot. Not stuff you want basically, and they tot up over time. And every clean race you have removes them, so it rewards good behaviour as well. Does the suffering driver get seconds? No, we can't. No, because we can't quantify that, and it doesn't happen in real life. It's just one of those things, unfortunately, that you can't give someone time that they might have lost in an incident. We can't do that, because then you start adding in things about, well, what if that person had 10 seconds of damage,
Yep, I can do that.
You can't.
Explain how license points accumulate. Okay.
Go for it, yeah, please.
Yep. So for every incident, you might get license points. You can get 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, however much. And they will stack up to eventual thresholds, which he was talking about. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, drive-throughs. All of these penalties from the threshold will be applied to the next race you're attending. In order for you to wipe your slate clean, that would be from clean races or races that you attend where you are not at fault for any incidents. You can be involved in an incident, but as long as we find you not at fault, then we will wipe 1 license point off of your license. And through that, then you will eventually go back down to 0 license points again. If you have passed several Uh, well, if you are near a threshold and you get an incident that puts you over the threshold, then we will enforce a drive-through, stop and go, whatever, for the next race. Yes.
Yeah, and that.
If you in that race run a clean lap or a clean race, not in that race. No, that would be live stewarding, and we don't have the capacity to do that. So the threshold penalties are applied for the next race.
Yeah. We'd love to do some live stewarding, and I think the dream is to potentially do it in some one-off races we do for Enduros, but we race as well, so we can't live steward. The first threshold to start getting penalised, by the way, is to get 6 licence points. So once you get 6, you get a 15-second time penalty applied to your next race, and so on and so forth, all the way up to, like, if you get 20, we end up talking about season bans and all that sort of stuff, which we don't ever want to do. We don't ever want to get there, but it's possible, and we have to have these punishments in place to incentivise good behaviour as well as punish the bad ones. Is a severity
necessarily a set multiplier. We look at it and we will increase penalties based on the multiplier. But no, we don't have like a written in stone multiplier in any way. But the more severe the actions are leading up to an incident, the more we will punish that. Yes.
I'm just trying to find David.
Reviewed incident by incident, that is correct. We have, in our racing rules, there are guidelines. We don't necessarily always follow these guidelines, because a certain incident, even though it says, oh, this incident is 10 seconds plus 3 license points, by default, it's a grey zone incident that is, oh no, this one is actually only 5 seconds and 1 license point.
And that's typically a group decision as well.
Yes.
One of my favourite pastime hobbies in the stewards meeting is coming in and causing chaos. And Lewis, I don't know if he's in the thing still. Give him a constant headache. No, he's not there. I constantly come in. And change my mind on things, and we'll go. No, actually, I think we had an incident 3 seasons ago that reminds me very much of this, and it's the same thing. And but remember, this guy's an arm, or this guy's a bronze, and this guy's a I take that into account as well. The drivers. I hate the word, but skill level or experience is probably a better way of saying it. If you're a bronze, I'd probably give you a bit more leeway than like a gold driver. If you're a gold driver, you're about platinum. You're probably on the cusp of split 1 driving. And the split 1 stewards give us no leeway. We don't get it. We literally just get slapped straight away. I've had a penalty myself this season, so I basically took someone out at Nürburgring by accident. So even us stewards have accidents, but you don't have to be perfect, do you? Let's have a look at this one. I've not forget about that one you spoke about, Perry, as well. We're going to have a look at that, hopefully. This one with you and Stojikov. So let's have a look and see what happens. So you are different. I've already noticed, by the way, that you are different splits. So you are exploring a different part of Valencia. Bonk, bonk. Yeah, little bonk right there. I don't know if he waits for you. We do always check to see if they wait as well. By the way, I don't know if they do in this case. I think Peter said it in the run-up to Valencia that most incidents here happen turn 2, and he's right. He waited. Aye, fair enough then. Yeah, fair. He's quite right. We saw quite a lot of little bumps up at turn 2 because it's a popular overtaking spot. So Stojikov seems to brake at a nice point, rolls off the brakes, but starts accelerating again before he's sort of confident that David's out of the way. Yeah, so David, you didn't really do it wrong there, and you just got sort of tanked by a Bimmer. Happens, doesn't it? sees a gap, but he gets back. This is what we look at. So I'll be slowing this footage down now. So if you look on the inputs in the bottom bit there, you'll see he's on the brakes, but he's coming off. So he's trail braking into the corner, and then he's on the accelerator again. And he notices now that there's a Porsche in front of him that isn't accelerating away, and that was the cause of that incident. Looking at it as quite just straight up, not being remotely analytical about it, which we usually would be in a stewarding meeting. It looks like you do, because watch your car very closely. And this is, look, you're pointing in a different direction, mate. But that's just like, so you didn't lose that. You didn't lose, it just looked like you did. So, like, from his perspective. Yeah, he probably just thought he did. That one, if we were going to penalise it, would probably fall under causing a collision, would probably by default get a 10+2 to it. If he waited, we mitigate that down. And we would probably mitigate down any behaviour points for waiting. Probably get rid of the behaviour points or mitigate those down. So a 10+2 is what we would say for 10 seconds. So the first number we say is 10 seconds, so the time, and then the number afterwards is the amount of licence points. Sorry, Nigel, I immediately went into stewarding mode then and thought I was around everyone else, but yeah, the 10 in that equation would be 10 seconds added to his post-race time, and the 2 would be the licence points. So think of licence points as just behaviour, really. Because he waited, that obviously mitigates that part down, and we might mitigate down the time as well, depending on just how severe it is. Did it really give David big damage on this one? Like, stuff like that. How impacted was he, and all that sort of stuff. So you do try and think about this sort of stuff. He was kind enough to straighten him out, he can't be much nicer than that. But yeah, quite a basic one, that, and I don't think that one ended up getting reported, did it? So that's that. Right, Rafe, where are you, mate? Where are you? It's not right, was it Rafe? It was Perry. Lap 52, 53, crash in turn. See, turn 2 again. Turn 2. Or you end up pitting this lap, I think. There we go. Was this one reported as well? Do you penalise if not reported? In what sense? So bear in mind, Nigel, we don't live steward, we don't look at everything. Unlike I know some communities get a report from race control about every bit of contact. We don't do that. We might in the future. We've looked at it. We've decided it's not for us right now, but we just go on lap ones and then reported incidents. So if it's not reported, we don't know it exists and we don't look at it. No, mate. No, we don't. In truth, we probably haven't got the time for that. Or because we'd have to have that report that looks at every bit of contact. It's an option for us in the future, and it's something that we discuss in the sort of staff meetings we have at the end of the year. But we don't by default.
Yeah, we're looking at software that will pick up contact.
Yeah, it exists. I think it's race control that does it, but it's not perfect. Yeah, it flags some right weird shit up, but yeah, it's an option.
Yeah, plus we would prefer the drivers to sort it themselves. If you're in contact with somebody and you feel you're at fault for that, talk to them, apologize, and try to come up with a solution between you guys, basically.
Yeah.
That is the preferred. That's the preferred way.
I think something I was gonna say as well, and it's fucking slipped my mind again right now. Actually, it'll come back to me. Yeah, an old rule I used to have. I used to be a steward for an old GT Sport league. That's how old it was, and I used to do this for GT Sport. Big league, like 200 plus drivers over 8 splits, I think it was. And I wouldn't let anyone make a report the same night. I wouldn't let them. I wouldn't accept it. It was on a Google form, and I literally wouldn't open it until the next day because I was like, you need to sleep on it, think about it before you report it. That's how I do it still. I might even speak or DM the driver, the other guy involved, and we might just talk it out between ourselves, rather than just getting immediately sort of, oh, he hit me, and all. So go back and look at it, have a think about it, have a cool down period, like Peter says. If it is a genuine incident, and as we're seeing in this session tonight, there's a lot of incidents that happen, and you'll probably still look at this the next day and go, no, he did hit me, we've messaged and he thought that I brake checked him, all that sort of stuff. Report it and let us deal with it, and then we can discuss it in these sort of scenarios, and we might have a chat with the drivers involved, and we try and make it a bit more of an educational piece rather than you've been a bad boy sort of thing. Let's have a look at this one then. So I don't know if this one was reported, was it, Perry? I can't see a ticket for it.
Yeah, no, Perry got involved, but I don't think he's written up because it's right, and who's behind him?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
It's a Ferrari. Oh, it's Porsche. Yeah, Flynn. Flynn. I love that livery, by the way.
It might have been between those two. I don't know.
That's a very nice livery. Anyway, sorry, I love liveries. Let's have a look. Oh, Thomas, you've DM'd me something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peter wanted a difficult one. I
Cool.
remember that one.
Nice one. Yeah, just remind me of that after this. I can't wait to look at that then, mate. Right, let's have a look. So this one wasn't reported, so I'm seeing this for the first time. My immediate incident is Rafe probably braked a bit late, or he's just carried too much speed through the corner. It certainly looks like. Yeah, he's just not braked hard enough straight away.
Very late on the brakes.
Very late on the brakes. I'll then look at your braking inputs, Poe, just to see that you're not braking stupidly early and all that sort of stuff. No, you seem perfectly fine. What we may then also choose to do is go and have a look at braking inputs the same drivers made over the last few laps and the few laps afterwards, just to see if it's consistent. We had to do that on a few incidents this week, but in this one it seems quite a basic case of just got a bit late on the brakes, really. Probably very conscious that there was a Porsche trying to overtake him, and just ended up tagging you. Cool. Yeah, that one would have straight off the box. That would be penalty worthy for me. But it's obviously not going to be because it's not been reported. But if it was, we'd probably penalise that one. We would then also look at your rejoin. Perfectly fine on this occasion. I liked how you didn't just rejoin straight there on the racing line. You actually went round and waited, which I like. Unsafe rejoins are, yeah, perfect. Just like you joining the motorway. Unsafe rejoins are a bit of a headache for stewards because we get the frustration, but you've caused another accident, so we have to penalise it. Oh no! Oh, you poor guy. I'm guessing your tyres were cooked, mate. Because the second you loaded that right rear, it just went nope. It span round on you. Yeah, I'm guessing you'd cooked it in that spin. Rip that dude. F's in the chat for Perry. Yeah, quite a simple incident in a lot of ways, but we have to, one of the things we'd do here is I'd go on board with Rafe, get his sort of POV, like was his braking point obstructed. I like to try and understand where someone may have been coming from. So there's a Lamborghini. He's probably using the curb markings for his brake marker there, so we probably can't see it. Or he may be looking at where this Porsche is that's currently occupying his blind spot. So there's a couple of things going on in race world right now, and unfortunately he just doesn't react quick enough on the brakes, which again, it happens. The bad thing for him is he's not really got an escape route now, so he can't dart right because he'll definitely take you out, and he can't dart left because then he'll go on the grass and there ain't no grip over there. So he's kind of committed to this.
And then take Perry out.
Yeah, 100%.
Perry's dead.
Yeah, well, and this Porsche that's here as well. This guy's definitely getting caned if he does that. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Rafe really and Perry and everyone that this one happened, but there's not much else he could do at that point other than brake earlier. So that one would have incurred a penalty for me as well. Any other thoughts on that one, Thomas?
No.
Yeah. As Peter's just said, one thing we'll look at, when you're in traffic, just remember you brake earlier, coast then brake, so you can. It is rarely that much slower to brake a little bit earlier when you're following a car that close, and it avoids most accidents as well. So if you brake like the car's not there in front of you, there's the chance of having a crash. That's why you might see us talk about like if you're driving like you're hot lapping. It rarely ends well because you're trying to hit an optimum braking marker that isn't always optimum. You've got this Lamborghini ahead of you. You've got to factor in that he's got a right to carry on racing. He might brake a little bit sooner than you, and I think it's very difficult for you guys in split 2 because you've got entry level rookies basically, or bronze drivers that in some cases can be a few seconds a lap slower than your gold guys. In a lot of cases, you gold guys are platinum pace or quicker. For example, Lindbergh's, Christo, these guys were quicker than us platinum guys in this race. In multi-class race, to penalise harsher for drivers not racing in clash and cause incident with another class. Yes and no. We do factor that in. So if you're a gold driver, we do not expect you to be kicking the crap out of bronzes. Vice versa, if you're a bronze driver, we don't expect you really to be defending to gold. So that would definitely be looked at as well. Right, Peter earlier on asked for a difficult one to review. Is this that Laguna one you've looked? You've sent right? Okay, I'm just downloading a replay, guys, and then apparently we're going to show you one that is very difficult. Laguna's sake, when did we race at Laguna? In November. November. Right, let's have a look.
Season 8.
Okay. Replay saved. Dump that in there. I do love this new internet. That file's downloaded in like 3 seconds flat. It's great. Right. Hey Darius, you alright? Right. Sorry, I've ignored Twitch chat. If anyone's done, no one's chatting in Twitch. That's helpful. Right. Replays. So here we go. So what lap was it? Lap 2. Lap 2, turn 5. Yeah, faster class, more. Yeah, I think I said that. I might have said it in different words, but faster class, more difficult, more critical. Looked at. You'd be expected as a higher class driver to. It's like on a Thursday. So on a Thursday, I'll race with some bronzers in the Thursday sprint series.
Cook, by the way.
Cook, thank you.
Cook, yep.
Oh, I miss David Cook. Yeah, if I absolutely slap the crap out of a bronze, I'm getting killed for that basically because I should know better.
Yeah. We will absolutely throw the book at him.
Yeah. And I remember this one.
Yeah,
I remember this one. Oh, this incident, right? Oh my god! So we visited this separately about 5 times. We kept coming back to it because the difficulty I think for this one, and I'll play it for you in just a moment. We all had different views on it. We all had a different opinion. Yeah, that's the one. So I'll replay it from the third-party camera POV.
That would be Sam. He's getting shit.
So, does anybody here care to elaborate on what we may have struggled with on this one? You know what? Now I'm watching it back, it doesn't seem as bad. I remember when we were looking at it. Yeah. So right now, I'm going to talk to you about thought process here because I'm watching this and like immediately there's a spinning car ahead of him. I can't remember who that is actually. Don't tell me it's for fuck's sake, it's Josh. Yeah.
That was a very good move from Josh as well. He had clear view of the cars coming, and he was able to just roll off.
Yeah, so David, with this one, obviously I had an incident to avoid. Didn't know at this point where this Porsche was going to end up, so he took to the Californian desert to get out of the way, but there's no grip out here, so he smashed the wall. The issue for me is he then drove onto the racing line here. The problem with him doing that is he's then on the racing line. And he's driving into the path of drivers that are coming behind him. So David should have waited here for a gap. Did he hold the brake? Yeah, he should have. He should have waited out here. Pookie, that he would be able to see the car before committing.
Evening, gents.
Hello, Ike. Well, welcome along.
Hello.
Ike,
couple of things that make me less useless. Drive faster? Drive a Ferrari?
No, don't do that.
Yeah, drive the 488. That'll work.
Oh yeah.
Speaker. Oh, wait. Why? There's no
I-
request button.
Can I make him speaker?
Request. You should be able to. I gave you God mode. I shall remove it shortly, but there we go.
There we go. I don't know. I don't know
So
how
I
Discord
have to
works.
request that evening
Hello,
voice.
hello.
Hello, bud. Yeah, this isn't the stage for it. This is a briefing room, so
Oh, wow, okay.
spanner usage.
Do I look like I fucking know how to navigate Discord?
Do you want me to comment on your looks? Because
Let's not go there.
we have Chris in the room. Every other judgment would be unfair compared to
Valid.
him.
valid,
I don't know what you mean. All right.
Mr. Huncules.
Shut up, sexy man.
Yes. So something to just to put in here as an aside, and something that to prove that genuinely we aren't out to get you as stewards, and we aren't trying to make you look like fools. This incident actually led to a rule change. No one requested it. The stewards identified a hole that could very easily be filled by an additional rule or guideline for us to take forwards. So we are always looking at incidents with fresh eyes. We are always trying to improve our processes and the outcomes, and trying to make them fit the crime that as committed. I did also say earlier, one of a very good rule of thumb, as far as if you get spun, if you're perpendicular to the track,
Yeah.
big slip there.
Yeah.
And you still have momentum, and you're going to be going away from the racing line, it is acceptable to roll off the track. Okay? In a lot of instances, that's going to put you in the gravel, it's going to put you on grass, or something like that. But the point is that you are out of the way of all the cars. You're also in a much better position to rejoin in a safe manner, which comes back to the point that we're talking about now. Thank you, Peter. If you find yourself as Rozalski did in that incident at Valencia, hold your brakes, don't move. Don't even look at the track, look at your relatives. Look at the track map if you have it on. Because all of that information is going to give you way more than your eyes, and is essentially your replacement for what would be a spotter in real life. You will know how long it takes you to turn around. You will know how. It also gives you the opportunity to pause and reflect and look at the situation that you've found yourself. Spin turning. Oh, that's the other thing. The amount of people that we've seen that will do like a 12-point turn or will do an entire loop. This isn't Formula 1. If you do a half spin, you will not kill your tyres entirely, unless you're in an AMG. But you shouldn't be driving an AMG at this point because it's broken.
Broken. Yeah.
So, yeah, don't feel bad about spinning, about needing to spin on the spot. It's absolutely fine to do that. Turn as Darius will back me up on. Turn the TC up a click or two for the next couple of laps. The tyres will go back into the window, and everything will be fine. And then obviously that also makes it a lot quicker to recover when you're spinning on the spot, as opposed to pretending that you're an HGV or truck, lorry.
And since we're on the topic of half spinning after spinning out or collisions or something like that, a mistake I've observed for now 4 seasons in the entirety of the community, not split 1, not split 2, in platinum drivers, in diamond drivers, in bronze drivers, is most people when they spin or they end up off track for any sorts of ways, they don't go down the gears. They just try to spin the car in 3rd or 4th gear. Nothing will happen. You will stall if you don't have anti-stall. So most people, while they spin or trying to do a half spin, even if they're on low TC, if they're in a high gear, you're just gonna understeer and block the track.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
that's
a
a
few
bad
times.
thing.
Yeah, noticed
So-
that a few times.
Everyone here now has the steward's permission to find a place on Paul Ricard. Let's face it, there's enough space.
Yeah, there's loads.
Practice your donuts. Best thing to do in ACC specifically. First gear, feather the clutch if you can, and just hold the brake. If you just apply a little bit of brake, it will basically spin the car on the spot. But if you're just doing a half spin, bleed off the clutch slightly, spin the rears up, it will naturally do 180 degrees. It's the way that the pendulum of the car wants to go anyway. Then off the clutch again, pull traction control back up, and pull away sensibly.
Best donut gets 2 license points removed. I'm game for that. I'm game for that.
And since we're on the topic, and I'm already here because I'm the main numbers guy when it comes to penalties, most people probably haven't seen that yet. That is the penalty sheet for the license hub, where all your license points are noted down, with additions of penalties and drops for clean races and stuff like that. And that's pinned in the, I think, incident result. Hold on.
Can't tell you.
Because sometimes it gets a bit weird when people want to know their stuff, and yeah, it's pinned in the incident results. You can look at that anytime. You can't write in that, but you can see anything. And usually, when I'm still applying penalty points, you've got the total on the right-hand side with your entire license points, and if you scroll to the right, you can see how much thresholds you have done, what the threshold scale is. So 6 penalty points is a 15-second penalty, 8 penalty points is a 30-second penalty, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's
Basically, everyone can look at that. It's eyes only, so you can't write in that, but still you can. If sometimes penalties are a bit, especially with the thresholds, that's something we have to work out, or we have to remind drivers or just notify them that they're on thresholds and they have to serve additional penalties, because sometimes that gets lost in communication. So if you ever need to look up how your penalties are standing, just go to incident results and look at pinned messages.
cool. Any questions from the community while you've got all of us here? By the way, it's a good opportunity to swear at us and call us names and stuff. If you
Yeah, I was going to say we do have very different opinions on a lot of incidents as well. When Chris was saying earlier that we do have our arguments about what's going on,
Yeah.
we do
This,
use
incident that is on the stream right now,
Yeah.
that we were trying to show, is absolutely one with split opinions. We, as I said, or as Chris said, we went back to this 5 times or something, arguing
I
back
think-
and forth.
I think we've argued about this incident. We've argued more than about all other penalties in that race in both splits combined.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We really and it wasn't just one thing we all disagreed with. Like, not disagreed. I think that's the wrong word. But we all had very strong opinions about the causes of everything that happened in this. Like, literally, we frame by frame dissected it to the point where we were trying to prove each other. Like, no, I think it should be this because this, and no, he shouldn't have done that, and he knows better and all. Anyway, but yeah, it ended up being a rule change, like Ike said. Quite a big one, and that'll happen.
the other thing as well is that Merck did not get a penalty for an unsafe rejoin.
Originally, yes, but then it was
Yeah.
appealed and a completely independent set of eyes.
Yeah.
We have people who aren't officially stewards, but they are very experienced with racing, with the racing rules, all of that stuff, and they will independently look at the incidents, and they will basically only know the context of the incident and the appeal, and their decision is final.
Yeah, and sometimes as well, like I've when these people haven't been available or we've not been able to look at them, and I think there was one night where I wasn't able to be in the original stewards meeting. Was it Zandvoort? I couldn't be there for some reason or not.
Yep.
I wasn't around. I had to go straight away. I think I'd work the next morning. And I basically said, right, any appeals come in, and I ended up. I think there was a couple that I've done. I've done Bathurst as well, a similar one, and,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
I quite enjoy doing the appeals in a weird way because the way I work, I'm quite analytical, and I'll sit there and write lists of everything that, like, what this did, this caused this caused that, and then I'll sometimes even just say to the driver involved, if you got 10 minutes, can I just grab you in voice chat and I just want to explain my thought process. And that was kind of the idea for this. That's what fueled this sort of happening.
In the cases where Chris is doing the appeals, he has not been involved in the original stewarding decisions, so that he is completely independent to what the incidents, all the decisions,
And there's a lot of times when I don't.
If I make a decision and then somebody appeals it, I'll still be biased towards my own decision, and we don't think that is fair to the drivers. So we try to, or we make sure that whoever looks at the appeals are completely independent.
There is also another change for season 10, which was a change to the rules when it comes to appealing. I feel that it's clear. We do make every possible excuse that we can for a driver, for an offending driver. We do look for mitigating circumstances. We look for things around. Like, we've gone.
Benefit of the doubt at all
Yeah,
times.
exactly. What we normally do, I mean, when I'm doing the actual the screen share, what I normally do is I would go forwards and back 2 laps to see how different the driving style is, because it might just be that 2 drivers are having very different stages of the race. Like the Lexus grains its tires for, grains its tires for no reason whatsoever after about half an hour. So for about 10-15 minutes, I'm utterly useless. But that doesn't, and obviously the McLaren the McLaren kills its tyres after 20 minutes, unless you really, really nurse them. And honestly, who has time for that? Yeah. So with that incident specifically, the yellow flags are not reliable in ACC. We have had it on several occasions where the yellow flags have not been displayed while a car is stopped. And yeah, so the outcome of that particular incident, again, trying to look for an excuse or a reason for the driver to exist. There was a wall to the right and a track to the left, and the racing line directly next to him. There wasn't very much that he could do. If he had have held on the brakes in that particular instance, that would have probably spun the car round back onto the track, which would have had an even worse outcome, because he would have been sideways on the racing line.
Didn't one of us actually go on the practice server and try it, and then held our brakes on the sand?
No, there was no argument, because we were discussing the point. We were discussing that, and since I'm a Laguna junkie, my actual explanation was you have no control over the car in the sand if you input anything other than steering. Yeah. If you throttle, if you brake, if you turn too hard, you have no control over the car. The car will just do whatever the sand dictates. And the other thing is, the point where the Mercedes goes off is one of the smallest margins between the track and the wall next to the track. So he has no real opportunity to rejoin safely. You have to hug the outside to get the corner right, and he's on the outside close to the wall. So, tough decision back then. A lot of arguing.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot, and I think that we've got a good team in the stewards, and a lot of people with very different aspects of, like, different ways of thinking about things. Like, you've got me and Ike, who are quite analytical. We look at things that way. There's Darius and Thomas that are very good at looking at, like, the driver's perspective, so they'll be able to sort of understand what someone was thinking at the time. The list goes on. Lewis is quite good at all of it. He's frustratingly weird and talented like that.
He's a good potato, yes.
He's a good potato. It's a good little team. If you are interested in being a steward, by the way, just shoot one of us a message, and we'll obviously talk to you about it in due time. We don't want to overinflate the stewarding team. We quite like having it quite a small knit group, but at the same time, it's a big community. There's a lot of races. There's a lot of stewarding to look at as well.
The other thing to bear in mind as well, that we do have drivers from lots of different backgrounds. I was a semi-professional karter when I was younger. Darius still has a race license. Chris has done real-world racing as well. Like, we all have different perspectives. And
I have done only sim racing.
There is a lot of experience in the stewarding team, which is why we're here. Is because we tend to, well, to be entirely blunt, we tend to not bullshit around when we're talking with each other. So it makes communication, because we can communicate so frankly with each other, we end up coming to a consensus, or one of us learns something.
Yeah, and I think that's an important point as well, that despite the experience in these stewarding meetings, none of us are above learning. Like, none of us have the attitude that we are the bee's knees as far as, like, racing etiquette and all that goes. Like, we're all very willing, and I've lost count the amount of times that we've been in a meeting, one of us has said something and the rest of us have gone, yeah, that's actually a fucking good point, we didn't think about that, and that happens every week. So none of us come into it with the attitude of we're perfect and we can't learn anything. It's we all have that, and I think we encourage that in the community as well. You should always have an eager to learn mindset, because you're never the finished product. No one is. So if you take anything away from tonight, take away from just use this as an opportunity to learn. Your time in the RA, and in fact doing any racing. because you'll always learn something.
Yeah, and the other thing as well is that hopefully there's a lot of things, and again, we do have dedicated chats for Sunday nights and things like that. If you are finding that you're getting involved in incidents, come and talk to us. I hope it's been abundantly apparent. We don't bite, and like we've got, the race team that some of us are part of, Logistical Nightmare Racing. One of the things that we do is take the piss out of each other when you make silly decisions.
Yep.
So we know we do have good racing sense, and we do have a lot of information and guidance. And again, it's about growing. It's about becoming better race drivers. It's not about bullying or anything like that. We're all trying to get better. Sometimes a second pair of eyes is all it needs, and that could be the last incident that you ever struggle with.
So since we're on the topic of that, hold on, I'm trying to find it. So since it's becoming a meme that Paul and me are coming together even though we're teammates,
Yeah.
stickers like those exist.
Oh, the fun.
Yes.
Anything else that we should cover tonight, chaps? I mean, I'm hopefully gonna make this a more regular series. You know, probably on a smaller scale and everything else. I think this being the first one was always going to be quite a lot of an information dump. Hopefully future ones will be just a bit more sort of half an hour, 45 minutes tops, a lot more informal and just a bit of a chat about it.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We do take into account.
Cheers, David.
We do take into account class violence.
Yep.
So, especially for those golden below, it is the responsibility of the faster driver to pass safely. There is.
We did point it out a little bit.
Yeah, Ike, wait, you listening?
What?
Yeah.
No, I did actually disappear for a second because my
Because
phone
you were
died.
cooking. You're too busy cooking, mate.
You missed just that one then.
I probably
Priorities.
literally just missed that. Typical.
So since we're on the topic of that, I don't know because I joined in late,
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
usually like only the season races are stewarded. The off-season races usually are not.
Yeah.
Or if we have something like the Era Classic Big Grid round Silverstone, where there's like all of the drivers that we have on one track, if a platinum driver or even a diamond driver takes out a bronze driver by an extremely dangerous maneuver, you get a slap on the cock regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
absolutely,
that's just like in DMs, just telling you do that in the season and you're out, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say cock slap. And that was right. This is tame Darius that you're getting. This is Darius with a filter.
I haven't called anyone a cunt yet.
Yeah, imagine what he's like in a stewards meeting. There is no filter with this guy.
It's even worse when I'm a race engineer. You know that.
You don't want any kind of slack from Mr. Wall. I don't know.
Oh, it depends.
Mr.
You know, it depends if
Bill-
you like that kind of stuff.
Mr. Built like a brick wall.
I used to be a boxer, so I probably shouldn't.
Exactly.
Probably shouldn't comment on any of that.
Slap my tits and call me daddy.
Yeah, boy. And I think a lot of us are going to end up meeting up for this sim racing expo as well. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well into that.
don't tempt me with
Well
a good
into
time. You never know, David. You never know. Get yourself to platinum, mate, and we can slap cocks as much as you want. Right. I said what I said. Yeah. Anything else we need to cover? Do we think? I think we've about covered everything. I want to say.
Yeah, I think
Don't
I
know.
do feel that for the most part we're preaching to the choir. Apart from Peter, he's like the dirtiest driver around, so he needs to be
Yeah,
listening to
filth bag.
everything that we're saying. Unbelievable. Just can't race with him ever.
I saw him nearly wipe out Fengler in the M2 race. I saw that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in
I
fairness,
watched his stream afterwards. I'm like,
Right.
Peter, what the fuck are you doing?
In fairness to Peter, Christian probably deserved.
He did.
Yeah, he almost killed me.
Peter went on. He went on the grass to like not kill him, but it was the coolest move. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
Sadly,
Yeah, I think
40s max.
Unfortunately, yeah, I was going to say. Unfortunately, I think we're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Everyone here, well, if you didn't know before, you now have a much more keen insight into how things are decided and looked into. There's also, do you know what? Peter would only go as far as platinum if he was driving the Jag. The point is that there's a lot of tips and tricks. We are here to help. We're here to support. We all have access to the Academy chat, so if you do have any questions that you don't mind poking, how other people know that you're asking, then chuck it in there as well.
All of us are available for a message.
Yep.
Complaints,
DMs.
though, will be directed elsewhere.
That was it.
Lewis.
That was it. Yeah, just direct your complaints
DM
to
Lewis.
no one. Speak to the mirror. Don't be a...
Yeah.
Yeah, don't whine. The update to season 10 as well. This is new. Appeals need to bring new material.
Yeah.
So camera views, inputs. You now understand. That's not new information. That's something that we look into as standard. If you want to try and
I think this penalty is unfair is not new information.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he pushed me off 3 corners before. Didn't you look at that?
Did you report it?
Is actually likely to get your penalty increased because then you're openly retaliating, which
good
is
point. Very good
enough
point.
to get race bans and season bans.
Yeah.
You will get a slap on the cock and balls.
Yeah.
From that one.
With the
To put this into
stuff.
perspective, with spicy intentional stuff, we're not fucking around.
Yeah.
Oh,
if,
you
if
just-
you take
You're
someone
not.
out, you're out.
We're not throwing the book. We're using a catapult.
Yeah, so I can give an example of that. Last season, at the when we had the commemoration race for Josh, I
that.
accidentally tapped Christian. Yes, Mr. Fengler himself. I accidentally tapped him in the hairpin at Barcelona. It was entirely accidental, and in the replays, I didn't actually make contact with his car. That's how small a contact it was. He decided that he was going to get vengeance on me, even though he was having a questionable race anyway, and decided to punt me after the finish line. I put in a report, and he got a season ban.
Yeah. Yeah. He hit you into me, and I've got a DD1 25 newton meters, although it isn't ever up at top speed.
Yeah.
I'm 100 kilos. I'm quite strong, but even if I'm holding that, my fingers are coming off. You know, if you do that, it's we don't fuck about. I think the last point I wanted to sort of say as well is, and this is probably out for the benefit of everyone, we don't get paid. We do this on our own time. We've all got lives outside of this. Darius works and breaks electrical equipment and mechanics all the time, you know, all that sort of stuff. I've got a full-time job. I'm a dad as well, to a pain in the arse kid that's usually messing about. So we please respect our time, that we do this for free and for the benefit of nothing other than just trying to help the community as well. That's all I wanted to say. And everyone's gone strangely quiet.
No. It was a good point to finish out.
Yeah. Who should I DM?
Who should you DM for what?
He's wanting to. I think Thomas has handled that. He's wanting to get
Your
involved in
interest has-
stewarding.
Yeah, your interest
helping
has
out.
already been noted.
Yeah.
We will be in contact in due course.
Yeah, we will contact you. So we'll just talk internally, and figure it out.
Bearing
So
in
don't
mind
worry
that you
about
knew as well, we'll obviously, I say this in the very nicest way possible, we'll have to conduct a bit of an ad hoc assessment on your character.
Yeah, nice way of putting it.
I was going to say, I think that's the politically correct way of putting it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
believe you came from a different community, didn't you, Nige?
HSR, honestly.
Yeah, was it HSR? Yeah.
No,
No. I mean, yeah, it was
HSR.
HSR too.
HSR. Yeah, because Wraith invited you in, wasn't it?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
with TSC as well, so it was that. Oh, on Pitskill, yeah.
And Pitskill.
Bad.
No, we did. Yeah, ban for that pit scale.
Right, yeah.
Should get you banned.
Bad. God.
Driving standards on pit scale are atrocious. I'm joking. I'm trying desperately to get my C license at Pitskill at the moment. Dear God. Oh, you don't race there anymore. Okay, so it wasn't you.
Okay, so
in
you're
the,
fine then.
Yeah, it wasn't you in the Mustang that kept punting me. Bastard cars. That's what happens when you base a car on a BMW.
And put jack sound on it.
Yeah, and put Jag sound on it. In fairness, the Mustang's worth driving just for the Jag sound in a modern car. But AMR? What do you mean it's
Oh god, oh god, another Aston. Oh god.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
my new thing. Cheers, Peter.
It's not a new thing.
Yeah, cheers,
you did
Peter.
the
Have fun.
Aston. You did the Aston back then in
For one
the
season.
endurance with Team Abbey.
Oh yeah, with the Endurance for Team Abbey, but that was it. And I was always their like fourth driver as well.
Nah, if you're an actual gentleman racer, you'd be driving the Lexus.
I think this is out of the question. If you're an actual gentleman racer and you completely don't care about your time, you just drive a Jag.
True.
Yeah,
Also,
and it's
or-
okay
or-
because he drives the Jag.
The Jag.
Yes. Oh yeah, no. If you drive,
I've punted a blue flag, but it's fine because I'm.
I've got a
yeah,
Jag.
there is an unwritten rule among the stewards. If you drive a Jag, you don't get penalised for
Yeah,
anything.
that's it. It's fine. It's fine. we don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Jag is for life. No, if you're an actual gentleman, you drive the Bentley. I know. I drove it last season, and so did Chris, and we had a lot of fun in it.
It was. Yeah, we need a Jag Cup. We need to do that. I think we just have an off-season race with all the unboxed crap cars like the Jag, the
No.
Aston, the M6.
No, what we do is we have a British Cup.
No, just the Jag Cup. Jag and the V12, nothing else allowed.
No. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
they're competitive with each other. How we can bop them.
Yeah, we'll bop it.
We can
It's
bop
fine.
them to each other.
It's gonna
No,
Jag.
no. What we do is we have the Jag, the Aston Martin, and the Ginetta in GT4s. It doesn't matter which track it's at. The Ginetta will top out. Oh, do it at Alton Park. Oh God, do it at Alton Park. Heck yes.
Oh god,
Yeah.
oh god, no.
Yes,
God,
please.
no.
Aside from getting
No.
slightly off topic, we are making some good points. I think
Yeah.
this is We'll definitely sort
If you
that
have
out.
any suggestions or ideas as well, DMs are open for that as well. We try as much. No, Snetterton is trash.
Donington.
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 Donington is a really good shout. Oh no. Yeah, if you have any suggestions,
Imagine the amount of understeer going through old hairpin in a Jag.
you'd have to just have the arse in the air. Remove the rear wing.
Or brake.
Just brakes are for cowards. No. 3 classes is frustrating. Snetterton's great for non-GT3 cars. Totally fair. Still a shit track. Also in the worst county in the UK.
Fortunate Lewis isn't here.
No, he would agree.
Yeah, he probably would actually. Fair enough.
Contentious. It's contentious. What else is as where else in the UK can you see the curvature of the Earth? The answer is nowhere, because everywhere else has more personality to it.
We've got the point where the islanders are arguing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think this is a nice time to draw
It's a
a
good time to-
conclusion.
That's the appeal. No, it's not. No, that's not the appeal. No. Constructive criticism, constructive suggestions. We're always open. You've heard several times how we've change things, turn things around.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the community and for the sake of our sanity. That will continue to happen, and I will continue to fight Chris on the not accepting stuff until the day after, because I realise that people have work, and some people have lives that preclude being able to come on here during the week.
Yeah, well, for the time being, like, we accept them straight away. But I would rather people just wait, just chill out, just sleep on it.
If you can,
if you can
sleep
do
on
it. Yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little session, which turned into steward therapy at the end for all us lot. But that's what the stewarding meetings get like on a Sunday and a Monday night normally. It is therapy for us guys.
Serious to not very serious.
Yeah, honestly, by the end of it, we're all a bit delirious, and
it's a lot of trash talking. Lewis forgets some shit.
Yeah.
Somebody gets insulted. I call someone a cunt.
Yep.
Yeah. It's to the point where
why don't we have a Stewards Night bingo card?
Well, I was just going to bring up the bingo cards that we have for endurance racing. So we have an endurance team that we sometimes jokingly add to diplomatic community racing, and we have bingo cards for each driver based on stuff that we do in stewards meetings. And,
Hold on. I'm trying to find.
You're trying to find. There isn't a least offensive one, mate. There isn't one. They are all hideously offensive, or I'd have put them up on my stream when I'm racing.
Also, follow Darius and Chris on Twitch.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, I tend to stream all my races on Twitch. That's it. This was the one from the SGP 24 hours.
24 hours of Kyle Army.
Yeah, and that you can guarantee that we will have ticked them all off in the 24 hours. You guys on Twitch can't see this, and there's no way I can show you. I don't think.
You don't want to see it,
and you don't want to see it.
I can tell you straight away. The first cross that got ticked off was actually not my cunt. It was blown engine. Because I blew the first engine in practice and the second engine in quali.
Fuck's sake! Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
Find. Where is Darius? When did you last stream? There. Gotcha.
Someone to follow me. Thank you.
One of
Nice
the
one,
evidence
cheers.
clubs.
There we go.
That's it. And Darius sometimes streams as well. I wish he streamed more, but he doesn't.
Yes, but it's the summer and it's like 35
Cheers,
degrees
guys.
in my office.
He is
And
sweaty.
the problem is that's the one problem. The other problem is my camera angle is basically pointing at the sofa and the other desk where my girlfriend's sitting, and she doesn't want to be on camera.
Oh, it's
So that's why I'm not doing
it's
it.
growing up, isn't it, yours?
Yeah.
Well, moves not there. Yeah, it's growing up. I've had a few follows up that. Nice one, thank you. Right, so I'll hopefully make these stewarding sessions a bit more regular, and yeah, we'll go from there. I
So
guess.
note down your questions and not your complaints. We don't accept complaints.
Cool. That's a nice way to put a World War II. Anyway.
It's bigger. It's better.
And it's back for more.
And this time we're including the civilians.
And now we've got hydrogen bombs.
I just don't want this to become a trilogy, you know.
Oh well, they're working on it. It's in studio now. They're just casting it right now.
And now you know how the steward meetings get as well.
We always end up talking about the war. It's weird.
There's a reason our private channel's called the Gulag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was called the Gulag.
Was.
It's still referred to the Gulag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still refer to it as the Gulag.
Oh, what's the sequel to the Gulag?
The
America?
Gulag.
No,
Excuse
no.
me, couldn't hold myself. I'm sorry.
That's Lewis's internet.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Oh my god.
I can go there.
Yeah, so if you want in on this shithousery,
So he's not living in a shed, he's living in a shag. Oh
Wait,
god.
can we get him to drive a Jaguar that just has like really thick carpet across the bottom?
No,
It's
yeah,
the
and
Shag Jag.
no, drive it has to be completely, has to be completely pink, and then it's Lewis driving it, being submissive and breathable.
But there you go, David.
Yeah,
that's
this is why some weeks, honestly, it takes us days to
We
get
don't
these
get
tickets
shit
done.
done.
It's
We are,
therapy, man.
we
Literally
are
don't
not
get shit
effective.
done.
We are not an effective team when it comes to.
Oh no. We're a really effective team. We're a massively effective
But we
team.
fuck
We're also
about.
massively effective something else's as well.
Yeah, we fuck about way more than we should. Put it this way: we're never getting into SRO or the FIA.
No,
or
no,
anything
well,
like that.
well, no. Our decision making is on point. Exactly. We take our payment from ERA in fun and laughs.
Yeah,
It's all about smiles per
Yes.
minute.
that's
Yep.
it. There's
Which
no
is-
But
invoice.
we won't hold any grudges.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and
cock
cock
slap.
slaps.
Yeah,
No,
100%.
that's just for the idiots. Idiots get
Yep.
cock slaps.
Yeah, we don't dish them out to each other. We have to save them. No,
Speaking of, we have an evening off
we do.
outside of this.
We actually have. It's
Yeah.
Monday.
Normally,
So,
right now we are knee deep in tickets right now, aren't we?
Only knee fucking deep. Jesus.
Yeah, or we have to untangle turn 1 Zandvoort, which isn't actually a corner.
No, and I have to go and do some Paul Ricard practice at some point. Maybe not tonight.
Poor Richard.
Again.
Yeah.
Bollery done.
Libaget. I've not driven it since last time ERA went here.
Season 6.
Yeah, last time ERA went here. I have no idea
Yep.
how it goes. Can't remember.
It's called retarded baguette.
Peter, push.
Yeah.
It's still a fucking supermarket parking lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It still doesn't have any grass. Nice beaver. And
It's on the
Yeah,
top right
I'm-
when you're looking
oh.
for the Aston.
Yeah, I keep forgetting which car I'm in.
that's what I was gonna say. I am taking payments for giving people drafts down the Mistral.
You're not in my split. I'm gonna have
Yes,
to.
I am.
You two
Are you?
are.
Oh yeah, right. Fuck it. I'm paying you, mate. You can get.
Yeah. Well, we still need to go for drinks and celebrate the new secular work.
Oh, I fucking hate this track, mate. Look at that.
I mean,
Ugh.
IKEA parking lot.
yeah. I honestly, the Formula One layout is much better. The biggest mistake, there's so many mistakes in this track, but the biggest mistake is them using the sharpest version of the first chicane. So you go to the first chicane. Look at how much nicer that like elongated version is.
Yeah, the second one. Yes, please.
Oh no, I meant the third one.
Oh, the third one.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Look
Like
at
that.
that.
Yeah, and then you'd all
Even
get
though-
down here,
Even though you're Chris, your surname's not Stanza.
and
You're
then
not allowed to do that.
Oh yeah, no.
You can't be
No.
making the car noises.
No, but this is the thing: is that as we all know, everyone will be single file by the time they get to turn 2, because all the Aston Martins will be at the back.
oh shut up. No, we'll just make sure we qualify at least in the top 6 or something, and then we'll just blockade the track. That's the idea. We'll just roll in roadblock.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Lexus just goes, "What are track limits?" and drives around you.
Yeah, so I might get on with doing some of that. I'm going to close the stream down for the stewarding sesh because we've gone wildly off topic. And
Yeah.
Wait, what's that? So I'm going to close the stream down on Twitch. I'll upload this onto YouTube and all that shit so people can watch it.
Night, Peter.
Night, Peter.
Good
So let
night,
me end
Peter.
that now.
Bye, Steve.